What's up, Taiwan? I'm Jaime Ocon with 10 minutes of news from here in Taiwan and around the world. Starting out with some defense news. Taiwan's military says a record number of Chinese nuclear-capable bombers flew near the country on Tuesday. They were among 29 planes spotted near Taiwan's Air Defense Identification Zone, or ADIZ. The zone is not the country's territory, but it serves as a buffer for security purposes. 21 of those planes breached the southwest corner of the zone, including 18 bombers, the highest number of bombers ever recorded. China often sends warplanes into Taiwan's ADIZ as a form of political pressure, with more than 1,600 incursions so far this year, also a record. Taiwan's military says it is monitoring the situation. For more on the latest incursions, I spoke to Ben Lewis, an independent analyst based in Washington, D.C., who tracks Chinese military activity around Taiwan. What can you tell us about the latest incursions? And have we seen something like this before in the ADIZ?
So today, the MND put out a release saying that there were 21 Chinese aircraft in the ADIZ, and 18 of those aircraft were H-6 strategic bombers. This is the highest number of H-6s we've seen in one day. The closest we have is 12 back in October of 2021, on the day we had the highest number of aircraft in the ADIZ ever. But this is very significant in my opinion. It's the highest number we've seen, as I mentioned, and it clearly demonstrates that the PLA is conducting some kind of major strike exercise, either counter-intervention or strikes against Taiwan itself. And it's a way for them also to see, how does Taiwan react to this kind of thing?
Can you talk about the current situation and the situation this year in the ADIZ concerning the amount of Chinese aircraft intruding into Taiwan's ADIZ?
Counting today's release, we're at 1,613 aircract tracked in the ADIZ so far in 2022. And as you mentioned, this is a much higher number than last year. We were at 972 and much higher than previous years. And it clearly shows that the PLA's attempts to pressure Taiwan are escalating. The number of violations and the amount of aircraft tracked in those violations are increasing. And I think it demonstrates a clear intent by the PLA to continue to put pressure on Taiwan and degrade Taiwanese sovereignty. In general, the flight path today was kind of a diagonal angle along the southwest corner of the ADIZ near Pratas. There's been a higher quantity of aircraft operating near Pratas in the last week or so. In general, H-6s tend to either fly an extended route to the southeast portion of the ADIZ or do a very kind of standard short incursion, either over the medial line or into the southwest, along with other special mission and support aircraft.
That was Ben Lewis, an independent defense analyst based in Washington, D.C. Also in military news, high-ranking officers and aides will be taking part in new shooting drills designed to improve their combat mobility. Previously, soldiers would shoot from a prone position, remaining in one place. The new exercises have them repositioning after firing, like in a real combat situation. Defense experts say having the officers take part in the drills is also meant to help boost morale.
这是以身作则的这个用意因为高阶将领基本上就是直接使用这个轻兵器进行攻击或是自卫战斗的几率是相对小的。
In other Taiwan news, officials are considering expanding a public sector ban on Chinese app TikTok to include all branches of government. Right now, only the cabinet and government ministries are blocked from using the platform. But for data security reasons, officials want to prohibit downloads in the legislature and courts too. Stash Butler has the story.
TikTok has 1.2 billion active users. It's the world's fastest growing social media platform. But the app, which is owned by Chinese company ByteDance, has come under global scrutiny for how it manages data. That's pushed Taiwan's cabinet to suggest banning TikTok in all branches of government and take any other steps necessary to protect data security.
其他的院他们的处理的情形也要整体了解，还有做法上面单用禁止可能效果不够了，比如说在公共的区域网络的范围内。 做一些技术上的处理。
The app is already banned in Taiwan's executive branch. The country's president Tsai Ing-wen says she considers potential data breaches a national security issue.
治安就是国安，一直是我们整个执政团队的重要的信念。一方面，希望能够提升全民对错假讯息的辨识的能力；另一方面，也持续强化国家层级的资讯安全。
China sees Taiwan as part of its territory and has not ruled out taking the island nation by force. But short of invasion, Beijing uses cyber attacks and online misinformation as part of what experts call grey zone warfare, aimed at wearing the population down psychologically. Some Taiwanese lawmakers worry TikTok could leak sensitive information to Beijing or spread harmful misinformation. And Taiwan is not alone in these concerns. TikTok is already banned in India and Bangladesh. And last week, Texas Governor Greg Abbott made his state the fifth in the US to ban the app on government devices. As data security expert Jia Shihao explains, if data of people's online habits is available to attackers, it can often be exploited.
攻击来讲，往往就是针对你所常去的或你喜欢的地方，那它可以先做一些情报的一些的布局，然后它直接去做一些的这个埋伏啊，或者在里面去放一些后门。
TikTok says it has never shared information with the Chinese government nor censored content at its request. But that hasn't stopped lawmakers in Taiwan from calling for an outright ban. If the Digital Ministry agrees in a report due this month, TikTok's dizzying rise may begin to encounter an increasing number of obstacles. Klein Wang and Stash Butler for TaiwanPlus.
Taiwan and Germany have opened automated border control systems to each other's citizens. Eligible travelers flying between Taiwan and Germany can now opt to use automated passport control. The agreement comes after a 2018 trial program that gave Taiwanese citizens access to automated immigration at certain German airports. Taiwan is the fourth country outside the EU whose citizens can use Germany's automated Easy Pass immigration system. A new Taipei court has ordered the makers of a series of deepfake pornographic videos to compensate two women whose images they used. Kaohsiung City Councilor Huang Jie and another woman are among the victims who sued the makers of the films. The court ruled that both are to receive over $32,000 in damages. In October last year, police arrested YouTuber Zhu Yuchen for allegedly making deepfake pornographic videos with the faces of over 100 people. This included politicians and other public figures. Zhu is alleged to have made more than $400,000 from selling the films online. In July, he was sentenced to over 5 years in prison, while an assistant received more than 3 years. The case has led officials to consider updating Taiwan's criminal code to better protect victims of deepfake crimes. In international news, China has launched a dispute against the United States at the World Trade Organization over semiconductor chip exports. In October, the U.S. introduced sweeping measures aimed at undermining China's chip industry. The rules ban exports to China of certain types of chips that are made with U.S. tools. As China appeals to the WTO, major companies in Japan and the Netherlands have reportedly agreed to join the U.S. export controls. China's Commerce Ministry said the U.S. curbs threaten the stability of the global industry supply chains. An endangered leopard cat has returned to the center that raised him with a remarkable survival story. The male cat, named Lu Guge, was brought to the Endemic Species Research Institute in central Taiwan's Nantou County. A local chicken farmer called in after finding him in a cage trap. He was missing his front right paw. The institute knows Lu Guge well. He was raised there for 2 years as a cub before he was released into the wild last year. From follow-up tracking, the center's staff were concerned he may have damaged a paw. They were delighted to see the animal had not only survived, but had even grown into a healthy adult.
以为它可能少了一只脚，它在山林里面觅食可能会比较不容易。从这样的案例知道，即使它缺了一只脚，它其实还是可以存活，然后状况也还不错，就是身体状况什么的都是很顶尖。
Thank you for watching What's Up Taiwan. Remember to download the TaiwanPlus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally today, we leave you with the images of hundreds of half-naked Santa Clauses running in the cold streets of Budapest in Hungary. I'm Jaime Ocon. Take care and see you next time.